Good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day. I do a lousy Irish accent, but anyway, it is, my hair's looking a little funky today. It is Tuesday. Again, we are home. Thank you, coronavirus, for making all our lives crazy right now. Today we're going to be covering the digestive system, which is chapter 29 in your Salvo book. So we're going to go over all the parts of the digestive system, how it works. It's actually a deconstruction system, believe it or not. So you have to get the food into your body, and then there is physical and chemical breakdown of that food into the nutrients that the cells can use, because your cells cannot take a whole piece of steak and do something with it. It has to be broken down to the amino acid level. So we have to break down the protein, the fat, all the vitamins, minerals, and something that our bodies can actually use. So most of the digesting that you do is not really in your stomach. That's sort of your holding tank. It's actually through the small intestines. So we'll talk about that today. Okay, hope you're finding these videos informational and fun and helpful to you as we go through these systems. So we thank you for your patience and your feedback, and let's begin, okay? Okay, so can you see that? I feel like that's really, there we go, really light. Okay, so there are a few parts of the digestive system that we're going to talk about. Obviously, the first part has to do with ingestion, right? Taking in food. So you have your mouth, which includes your teeth, your tongue, salivary glands, and taste buds. Okay, can you see all that? Hopefully, yes. Yes. Okay, let me bring it a little closer. Okay. After that, we go down to the oropharynx. Remember that from the respiratory lesson? Okay, oro, it's the back of the throat where you swallow your food. Okay. Then we have your esophagus, and we talked a little bit about that as part of the digestive tract when we were doing respiratory. It is a smooth muscle that leads down to the stomach. Okay, we have some sphincters along the way. You have one in the stomach and the small intestines, and one in your butthole. Okay, because if we didn't have a sphincter at the end of your rectum, you would just poop yourself as you were walking down the street. And that may happen to you on occasion, but it shouldn't. So these sphincters are very important. Okay, then as we go down, we hit the stomach. Okay, and there's three parts to the stomach that we'll talk about. We go to the small intestines. Then we go to the large intestines. Hopefully you can see that. Yep, good. Then we go down to the exit. Okay, rectum and anus. Okay, exit only. Now remember, the exit or the anus is a hole, right? So what did we talk about in other topics. We talked about how bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungus, any type of pathogen likes a hole. So, not to get all gross, but if you're putting things into that hole, then you're bringing in pathogens into the body, and we don't want to do that, obviously. So we want to keep things out of the exit, right? Because waste is coming out. Why would you want to push it back in? Okay, we'll get to that later. All right, so the digestive system takes food and chemically and physically breaks it down into things we can use like nutrients. It's a disassembly line, okay? It requires energy, right? You use your masseter muscles to help chew the food. We'll talk about what that's called and how the tongue, which is also a muscle, helps push that food back to the back of the throat, down to the esophagus, okay? So gastroenterology is the study of the digestive system. Anything with the word gastro, gastritis, gastric bypass, all has to do with the stomach. Hold on one sec.